Okay, so I'm Mustafa and I've been an Apple developer forever now. But this wouldn't be an actual MLX talk if I didn't show you how to do this entire talk with MLX, right? So what I'm going to be doing today is I have this slide and this is running using a DLS system called Deck UI, which a friend had made. So basically it's a Mac app. So you can see this is my first slide, right? Can you all see my first slide? Cool. So what I've done is I've been chatting with Codex a bunch and I told Codex, hey, everything in this chat, I kind of want to present it tomorrow. And I did this at like 2 a.m. in the morning. I didn't have my slides done. I was speaking at the Apple Developer Center yesterday, so I didn't have time to get to it. So I created, let me just show you. So open dot, I know, I'm just opening the folder. So I created this MLX deck and I told Codex, please dump all the context of our chat here. So the story brief, what we went through, all the solutions we did, the timeline we did it in, so each of this timeline entries is becoming a slide. And the next thing is the slide style I wanted because I didn't want to compute so much. This is running on an M3 Air. So this is all I had to do. And I told create a bash script which takes all this context, dumps it to the Quen model using MLX and gets the output and creates the code so that my this file can actually run it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go to terminal. I have this, this is the run deck, but we don't want to do run deck. I'm going to do generate deck. So it's just going to generate the deck. So it found out all the different slides I wanted. So split them up. Now it's going to pass these to the model locally. So you can see the first slide, 6, 7, 8 characters, send it to Quen, got its response, build that slide, second slide, third slide, fourth slide. So it'll keep going on and doing that. So in the meantime, let's fill the room with some random questions. So how many of you all developers, right? Any non-developer people? Okay, three. Okay, so next question is um, how do I fill the room with the questions, right? No, so how many of y'all have tried MLX before? Okay, how many of y'all have actually tried MLX before? Three. Okay, so I've been running it on the air and I've thought it. And now next question is how many of you are Codex versus Claude people? Codex? Oh shit, Claude? Oh, we separated the room that way. So what I've done is I'm a Codex user. I think I went it for the UI and a lot of friends working at OpenAI, so that's why. So what we've done today is we're just creating the slides, and then once the slide is created, I'll know my content for the slides because it'll keep shifting. Hopefully, I'll be able to present it. So we're on slide number 11 of 16. So it's just generating this. Has it started dumping? It's not. So once the entire thing is done, Bash will compile it and dump it into this file. So let's see. And then, yes. You can use anything locally. I've taken it from the MLX community. So Quen is MLX optimized, so then it can run. And this is the 2.5B. This is running on an air. No fans, so you can't hear fans. So it will just start burning. But it's pretty not warm right now. It's like just okay. It probably gets hotter running games. And with slide 16 done, it's building the project. So if I go here, the slides have been generated. And by the way, like the whole time, this Wi-Fi is just turned off. So if you all think I'm like faking anything, this is the proof. Okay. So congrats, I have my slides for the talk. So it's how I use MLX to stop burning tokens. So step one was using MLX to generate the slides and not using Codex or something like that. And all of this is running on my M3 Air. The only thing is I have 24 gigs of RAM, so that's why it's running. Please don't try this with like 16 gigs on the Air, I think. So the next thing, so yeah, hi everyone, I'm Mustafa. I've been an Apple platforms developer for I started in 2014 and I've been doing it for 12 years now. And I started in college, that's why it looks like 12 years. I'm not that old. And I built two apps, Tasks and Karo. Task Managers, very unique to the App Store. I'm the first one, I'm kidding. And I ship these small things. And there's one problem. I manage a small company. And the biggest problem with managing a company is making invoices, the accounting. That whole process is tedious. I have to, anything I go dinner or something and I have to expense it out, scan it, keep it, and then share it with the accounts team who will then, map it and then do accounting stuff. So I used to use Codex for this because why not? Like everything, I just wanted to optimize. So I keep scanning these documents, and if I get a flight ticket in my email, I'd have it pick up the bill. And I started writing a lot of scripts, and that's when I came in. I was like, I'm burning way too many tokens with Codex. What's my next slide? Yeah, the boring problem. Expenses were not that hard. They were like just find the invoice, read the amount. So when I scan a document, by default, the Files app names it scan document. Every time I would write, I have a particular format. I would do it in the year, month, day, so it's sortable. I come to know which day the invoice is, then the amount of the invoice in the currency. So if I'm doing forex invoices or non-forex, accordingly, right? And I'd also have it extract which card I'm using, so it would directly put it in the statement of the card, and then in the end I would take the credit card statement and then have it compile and tell me that, hey, you're missing these invoices, so somehow we couldn't find them. So this entire process, you might think it's not, but like at the 30th of every month, and I get this message ki ye wala missing hai, wo wala missing hai. I got very frustrated, and I was like, there has to be a way. So what I do is now I just dump things into a to sort folder. It's very easy on my iPhone. I've favorited that folder, so I just scan on my iPhone, run the dump everything to sort. No stress in life. And then on my Mac, whenever I come in, or I can periodically run a cron job whenever I activate my Mac, and then it sorts them. Okay. I have furthermore, but for the purpose of the demo, I've just put it in these two folders because otherwise it goes into the credit cards folder along with the statement and puts it in there. Now, Codex got me moving first step. I used Codex, I was pretty happy, but it was kind of slow and it burnt a lot of tokens. Why? Because it do OCR itself. It would take it, do it, then move all the files. It took way too many operations. And then I started running into limits. I was like, man, I should probably not be using. What is the next best thing I can use? So then I started doing this entire thing. And the next thing I hit the cost issue. See, I'm figuring out my slides. The local bet. Yeah. So then I was like, invoices are a thing. Then I wanted to do bank statement parsing. I wanted to do a bunch of other things. So I did that as the next step. And the best thing is, since it's running offline, I don't have to care about what I'm dumping into it, right? I can now start creating vector databases based on what it is able to parse and then create it. So I can ask it questions like, when did I spend this particular amount? How much have I spent on food? So many things. I can do it on device, which is incredible. The next thing, first attempt I did is, okay, let's go with MLX. And I was like, how do I do this? First step, OCR scanning I had to do, right? And I went and I used this GLM OCR. It's a huge heavy library. If you run that on your Air, you will die, okay? Because it would work for simple receipts, but it would not work for anything which was like, because you can scan a PDF, right? So you can scan a restaurant bill and it wouldn't be so, but this ran really well for that, but it would die on my Air. So I was like, this is not a way to do it. And then it did it for simple ones, gave me structured JSON output, and then I put it inside a macOS native shell to, put the documents, rename it, all of that. Next thing is I ran into the reality check. Quen was working great because OCR was parsing it. It was giving it to Quen, and Quen was able to pull that information out very accurately. I was surprised. And then I needed to kind of test this before I put in my thing, and I made sure do not delete anything. So it only renames and moves it to a folder which I've specified. It doesn't delete anything. And then real invoices fought back, wrong amount selected, PDF ordered mattered. Yeah, so PDF ordered with the time, wrong amount. Sometimes it would select the wrong amount. So if you see IRCTC invoices are very like messy. I'll show you an example of that. So, and then the next thing is I ran some tests. I gave it like things because I already have my entire library sorted out, right? And it would do that. I'm also figuring out my slides as we go. The pivot, Apple reads the document. Okay, so the next thing I realized, man, we are idiots. We sit on so much compute, but we don't use it. MLX is a great example. Vision Kit has existed on Apple's platforms for like years now. You can do OCR scanning without even like heating up anything. So I was like, you know what? Let me use the native thing to actually take out the heavy lifting, which was the OCR scanning. And it works great, like 9 out of 10 times, maybe, with a 90% accuracy. Sometimes it might not. And then it did that, and then it did the OCR scanning. So it happens in a second because Apple's OCR scanning is really powerful, it happens on device. And it doesn't spin up the thing as much as it doesn't need that much RAM to load up the GLM OCR model. And then I was like, final result, documents, yeah, it moved it to sort, took it first, takes every PDF into sort, puts it in Vision Kit, scans it, and then does the next step, and then puts the OCR text into MLX Quen, and then it goes into the sorted folder. So let's do a demo. Interesting. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you first where my receipts are. I'm going to go into documents. Okay. If you see here, I have all these various bills. All right. I need to get this sorted just before my accountant comes so that I don't get like, it's easier for them ideally. So what I'm going to do is I have a simple bash script, which will what it'll do is it'll run Vision Kit, then it'll pass it to Quen, and then it will do the necessary things. So let's see, script slash. I was doing a lot of testing. Okay, so there's a simple script that I've gotten to done. Codex has generated the script. One day MLX models become powerful enough, I would not need codecs for such trivial stuff. And I run this. So you can see it's done the OCR scanning. It happened in a second. And it's now loading up Quen for the first time. So it takes a little time. And then it'll pass the OCR text to Quen and do it. So one is done. It's now on the second extracting fields. Yeah, so it got 612 characters from the OCR. Now it's running and trying to figure out what is the best match for the total price of this thing. So amount due, this was the Claude code thing. So it figured out $100 is the thing. It's going on next, next, next. And as and when you see this, it keeps sorting it. All happening on device. We found out it. So what it does is it was the time, the year, month, day, amount, and then who is this billing necessarily to match, like in the credit card statements, easy for them to map. And then last is the confidence score with which it's predicting. Man, LLMs are really stupid. They just say 100% all the time because they're pretty sure. So usually like an LLM, unless it is very, very aware that, hey, maybe I made a mistake here, it'll always say 100% because it's just predicting the next token. So it's like, obviously the next token is correct. Obviously the next token is correct. And just like that, we sort it all. Let's see this. So I went to Kopitala, I got this thing on district, quickly saved it to file, total amount paid 1138, and it says total amount is 1138. Great. AWS bill, it figured it out. So much information, right? It can go through all of this, but it found out the best match is the actual one, total amount 4399097, 4399097. PDFs are easy. It's more clear. Let's go for something. So I went to Penne. I finally got Mumbai one. It's not as crowded. I scanned this thing. This is how I scan it, right? I needed to predict that the bill amount is 560 rupees. It actually does that. Then I went to, like, say this one. This is a faded bill, right? Slightly tougher for it to parse it. But no, it figured out the invoice is 14,7816. Successfully passes it. So this happens on device without requiring network, and I don't even have to tell codecs or any tooling to actually use it. And what's my next slide? Okay, yeah. So I hope I'll go back. So I hope you'll enjoy the talk. And this is what the power of MLX is. The thing is, today we might not be at the point where it can help you do agentic coding. It cannot help you do coding. But there's so many things. You have to be a builder and tinkerer today. If you're not a builder and tinkerer today, right? You kind of will miss out on that cycle when things are ready, things are there. You will probably be lagging a bit. And I think if you have anything in your life that you can optimize, that you can, improve, you can change, just start building with MLX, like making this presentation. It just took a few commands and then it got it on the fly. And yeah, that's it. And I have like a small announcement. We announced it yesterday. So there's a conference called Swift Bharat. Last year happened in Bangalore. We had Peter from OpenClaw come in as a closing keynote speaker. We had Paul Hudson who was our opening keynote speaker. And this year we're doing it in Mumbai, and it's happening on the 19th, 20th. If y'all are interested, that y'all be free to check it out. It's not a for-profit conference. It's like completely, it's done for the community. And I run that and with a team around India. And that's it. That's everything I have for it. The link to Swift Bharat is swiftbharat.org. And you can find me here. Thank you so much. Awesome. Any questions? I was very good and thorough. I don't think you should have questions. And you can have questions.